Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Steffi and Daphne are warned by Ridge, and Poppy asserts that Finn is not Luna's father. Finn wants Poppy to tell him the truth at his office. Is Luna my daughter? Finn thinks they have to walk down this path, even though Poppy doesn't want to. Was it only him or were there other guys there when they got close? He refuses to stop asking questions even when Poppy tells him to stop. Could Luna have been fathered by someone else? Because she was young and unmarried and only had one relationship with him, Poppy says there were others. Finn is entitled to the truth and has a right to know. Please let me know if I am Luna's father. Luna is amazed by Bill's media empire and impressive mansion while she is at his house. It would be better for her to serve her time there, he says. Luna is certain that if he hadn't saved her, she would have perished. Bill put himself in her position and recognized his younger self in her, saying, "You truly are the dad I wish I'd had." Because of their unstable, dysfunctional moms, Luna believes they are very similar. She exhorts Bill to express his suffering and trauma. He experienced the same thing as her, and he has heard her rave about her mother. Bill gives a shrug. He moved on. Luna wishes he would be more forthcoming with her. The similarities between their childhoods amaze Bill. Luna believes she can assist. Hope and Carter flirt and canoodle at Forrester after Hope kisses Carter. She informs him that he has altered a lot in her life. He assisted her in reassembling her reality as it was collapsing. Carter assures her that they look out for one another as a team. Hope is thrilled to be back in the building, to have her line back, to have her mother as CEO, and to no longer have to answer to Steffi. Carter remembers that she recognized his vision's potential right away. It inspired her. It was a mistake on the part of the others to ignore him. Growing the business without his best friend is something Carter regrets. Hope summarizes their desire to be cautious. Being a part of his path makes her proud. If Daphne Rose is interested, they must be doing something right. She believes the impact of the scent line will be greater than people realize. Carter Hope, B&B. Steffi expresses gratitude to Daphne for meeting her at the Cliff home. They discuss how Carter and Hope are unable to recognize each other as friends. Daphne is certain that Carter would adore the fragrance she's wearing, and Steffi finds it admirable. Steffi is aware of his attraction to beautiful women. For herself and her family, Daphne is taking this action. When Ridge shows up, he inquires, "So, what's going on?" Daphne is going to go to Forrester, according to Steffi. Although Ridge values her loyalty, he believes it would be best if he didn't know about the plot. Daphne assures that the operation will be successful. Operation Carter Walton, Steffi nods. More, Taylor's future may suffer as a result of Steffi's scheme. Hope claims that she has never encountered a lady at Forrester who is quite like Daphne. She adores every aspect of her. She seems like a nice fit for them, according to Carter. Hope has long admired her and is thrilled to get the opportunity to work with her. Pinch me. Carter is capable of more. He gives her a kiss. Is this a dream? Says Hope. She continues to obsess over Daphne Rose. Carter informs her that she affects people in the same way. Even he must find Daphne fascinating, according to Hope. How could you not? Carter Hope, B&B. Ridge says at the Cliff home that Steffi is the one who can regain the firm. He requests that she and Daphne maintain cleanliness and abstain from breaking any rules. They will also go low, Steffi says. Ridge believes that it is no less serious than robbing a friend of their business. Carter waits as Daphne says she must leave. Steffi informs Ridge that she is their key to regaining the firm when Daphne leaves. She has witnessed her behavior. They discuss how she is among the most attractive ladies in France. Steffi is certain that Carter won't be able to stop her. Their coup will then collapse, and Hope's heart will be crushed. Luna informs Bill at his house that she can just be his friend and has no other means of paying him back. "Allow me to assist you, Bill." She assures him that nothing will surprise her. "It's interesting," Bill says. When he first saw her mother, he felt that she was good, but he also felt that something wasn't quite right. Bill claims that she was essentially a perfect replica of his mother, saying, "That wrong part was the similarity she shared with my mother." Luna assumes he's referring to a habitual liar and an untrustworthy lady. Bill Luna B&B. Carter and Hope discover Daphne in the building at Forrester and sniff the air. Hope tells Daphne that the aroma is captivating as she walks into the office. "You have no idea," she says. Finn asks Poppy in his office whether she has been hiding something from him for all these years. She claims that she still cares for him. Having him accuse her hurts. It's a valid inquiry, and Finn just wants answers. The truth must be revealed to him. Finn inquires as to whether she believed Tom Starr to be Luna's father. Poppy is not interested in this discussion. Finn doesn't either. He can't, but Poppy responds, "Then drop it." He begs her to look at him as she turns away. "Are you not intrigued? Don't you want this to stop and you want an answer?" Finn finds it unbelievable that she wants to bury her head in the sand, but Poppy sniffs and says, "You have no idea. There is too much on the line for him to do that." Poppy sobs that her life is over because Luna is incarcerated. It was really difficult for her to raise a good girl. What's the point? Finn would like to know. He needs to hear it again, even if he has his misgivings. He is not Luna's father, Poppy informs him. Poppy informs Finn that he is not Luna's father, while Luna tells Bill that Poppy is a compulsive liar. Thursday, January 30th, 2024, Ridge advises Steffi and Daphne to maintain their relationship with Carter and Hope clean on today's episode of Bold and the Beautiful. Recap of Wednesday's B&B, Jack admits to still lovingly, and Finn confronts Poppy about being Luna's father. Finn tells his Aunt Poppy in his office that they had that one night together and that she became pregnant after that, telling him that Luna couldn't be his. Was that accurate? Is Luna his child? He wonders. Finn questioned Poppy. He contends that they must go there, despite Poppy's assertion that they don't. He remembers that they had everything in common. According to Poppy, it was a long time ago. Were there other guys back then? Questions Finn. He begins mentioning potential candidates, such as an artist, a yoga person, or someone who went to that music festival, when she declines to respond and becomes even more reticent. She acknowledges, agitated, that there were others. Finn asserts that she must reveal the truth, because he deserves it. Poppy pretends to cry and adds that seeing him accuse her hurts her. She was concerned about him. Finn says it again. Poppy KG. He's curious about the truth. Did the results of Lee's paternity test surprise her? Did she believe that Luna's father was Tom? Despite Poppy's pleas, he is unable to let go of this and applies pressure. She wants the stress to stop, doesn't she? Poppy sobs. He doesn't know. Since it's finished, Poppy worries about Luna's future. She says it was difficult, but she tried to raise a nice girl. Finn is aware that she needs a tighter relationship. He does, too. The point is posed by Poppy. Finn must be aware. She disputes that he is the father of Luna. Finn is denied by Poppy's. Luna thanks Bill for the advance copy of a magazine at his mansion. He reminds her that he is a publisher. She finds all of this unbelievable. She wishes she had a father like him. He talks about how he sees himself in her and how he puts himself in her position. Luna reads the advanced copy. They bonded over their mother's instability, she acknowledges. She used to believe that showing vulnerability was a sign of weakness, but now she understands that it's healthy to release the trauma. So I hear, Bill responds, seeming uneasy. Luna wants Bill to become more accessible. She wants to support him, and they both acknowledge how similar their childhoods were. She disagrees with his belief that he has moved past it. She believes that holding it inside is bad. According to Bill, the train has already departed the station. Despite his many terrible deeds, Luna has changed for the better. Bill acknowledges that he never contacted Poppy again after that one-nighter because of how much she resembled his mother. Luna accuses her mother of being a chronic liar. Hope and Carter share a kiss in the CEO's office at Forrester. She claims that he helped put her world back together after it had fallen apart and that he is the reason so much of her life has changed. He refers to them as a team. Hope is relieved that Steffi is no longer their boss. From the beginning, Carter knew she saw his vision for Forrester. His concepts and their realization inspired her. Carter and Hope kissing at the office. She claims that everyone else erred in not believing her. Carter, however, wishes he were doing this with Ridge, his best buddy. Hope dismisses it. Maintaining the status quo won't help your business expand. Hope believes the scent line will have a greater influence than they realize when Daphne's name is mentioned. Daphne intrigues both Hope and Carter, but mainly Hope. She enjoys working with her and admires her. While she fangirls, they begin to make out. She describes the woman as magnetic. She has the same effect, Carter tells his girlfriend. Carter, who loves him, canoodles with Hope. Daphne is welcomed into the Cliff House by Steffi, who also expresses gratitude for their covert encounter. Daphne's new smell appeals to Steffi. The way Daphne smells makes her melt when she takes a whiff. Carter will adore this fragrance. Daphne agrees and calls it new. Steffi informs her that although Hope is manipulating Carter, they are infatuated. Daphne is still discovering what attracts him. Daphne is doing this for herself and to promote her range of perfumes. Daphne discusses fragrance, B&B recap, and soap spoilers. Ridge interrupts and inquires about the situation. They won't give him specifics, Steffi claims. The less he knows, the better, he realizes. Daphne assures you of success. Steffi refers to it as Operation Carter Walton. Beating them at their own game excites them. Carter sends Daphne a text. She must leave. Ridge in on the plan. Ridge claims she's something else and worth every cent after she's gone. She is regarded by Steffi as one of France's most attractive women. Ridge concurs that she has a certain quality. She is stunning. Steffi believes that when Daphne stands in the way of Hope and Carter's plan, it will fail. Steffi Cliffhouse on a Ridge. Ridge hangs up with Charlie from Forrester, who informs him that Daphne is inside the building. As the French woman enters the room, Hope swoons and sniffs the air. Daphne smirks knowingly when Hope refers to her perfume as captivating. "You don't know," she says. Carter smiles and takes a breath. The unexpected grief connection between Hope and Finn following Carter and Steffi's departure. Updates and teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful hint that Hope Logan and John Finn Finnegan may soon find themselves drawn to one another. If Steffi Forrester's plans work out as planned, she is using Daphne Rose as leverage in a plot that could endanger Hope and Carter Walton's romance. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Hope's destruction. By the end of this story, Hope may have experienced heartbreak, bereft of a companion, and in need of assistance. It wouldn't be shocking if she immediately looked for a new relationship to assist her deal with the fallout given her prior tendencies. At the same time, Finn might feel the same desire for comfort due to the tumultuous situation surrounding Luna Nozawa and her paternity. Finn's marriage to Steffi may be severely shaken if it turns out that he is Luna's biological father. As they deal with this sudden love upheaval, it may cause them to separate or perhaps get divorced. B&B spoilers, will there be a grief bond? Given the likelihood that both Hope and Finn will lose partners, it appears the program may be laying the groundwork for them to grow closer despite their loss. As Hope copes with the fallout from losing Carter and Finn struggles with losing Steffi, may this upheaval lead to a new relationship as the two develop a strong mourning bond? In the unlikely event that both of their relationships end abruptly, they might discover something in common by sharing experiences, which could lead to a passionate bond and possibly the beginning of a thrilling new romance. Even though Hope's previous flirtations and that inebriated kiss were insufficient to entice Finn away from Steffi, things might change if Finn ends up feeling just as alone and forlorn as she does. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Hope and Finn would both be unmarried and in need of assistance at the same time. Hope and Finn may have to navigate the rough seas of breakups at the same time. They will both be unmarried once more and require assistance. This unanticipated event might pave the way for Finn to fall in love with Hope, which would relieve her of the urge to pursue him too much. It's easy to imagine Hope and Finn starting their own Lonely Hearts Club soon, so keep checking back as we update you on any romantic developments. Future spoilers indicate that Finn and Hope's paths may cross, so keep a lookout for any noteworthy developments about their romantic lives. The most surprising pairings occur at the start of a new sweeps period, so never say never. Truth had always been important to Finn as a man. He lived his life as a doctor based on science, facts, and assurance. However, nothing he had learned in his medical education could have prepared him for the heartbreaking disclosures that were about to happen. His entire world had been upended since Luna came into it, and just when he believed he had reached the pinnacle of his mental torment, new secrets surfaced that would rock him to his very foundation. The first domino to fall had been the paternity revelation. His marriage and his meticulously constructed existence with Steffi had been rocked by the revelation that Luna was his biological daughter, shattering his feeling of security. More concerning issues started to arise after he had just come to terms with the idea that he had a grown daughter he had never met. For what reason had Poppy kept the truth from him for so long? Had she been hiding anything else from him? What part had Lee played in all of this, perhaps most worrying of all? Discipline, control, and an unwavering sense of justice had always been the driving forces behind Finn's mother. For the most of his life, he had looked up to her, thinking that her strictness was a result of her desire to improve him. However, when he learned more about Luna's past, Finn started to believe Lee knew more than she had disclosed. Had she always known about his relationship with Luna? If so, why hadn't she said anything? Finn addressed his mother, desperate for answers, and demanded the truth. He was stunned by what she told him. Lee had made every effort to remove Poppy from Finn's life in her ever-calculating manner. She had always thought Poppy was reckless and unworthy of her son, and she had never approved of her. Lee had made the decision to let Poppy go without question and to not search for her when she vanished all those years ago. She didn't think her son could have fathered a child with a woman she viewed as beneath him, so she brushed off news of Poppy's pregnancy as mere gossip. Finn felt a knot in his stomach. Although he had always been aware of Lee's tendency toward dominance, it was an unfathomable betrayal to learn that she had contributed to his separation from his own daughter. He was caught between sadness and rage and found it difficult to process. However, the disclosures did not end there. Finn went over to Poppy next, determined to hear her version of the tale. He found Poppy's revelation to be much more surprising than Lee's. She was hesitant at first, but she was unable to conceal the truth after witnessing the anguish in his eyes. She broke down in tears as she acknowledged that she had previously loved Finn very much and that their time together had been genuine. But she was overcome with fear when she became pregnant. Poppy had been a young girl, lonely, and afraid of what was ahead. She had no relatives to help her, and she had persuaded herself that Finn would never want to be bound by a kid given his promising career in medicine. In her younger years, she had acted carelessly and made some embarrassing blunders, but fleeing was the worst of all. She had snatched that decision away from Finn without giving him an opportunity to make his own. Finn's hands clenched. He was distraught, not just angry. All his life, he had believed in love, in integrity, in doing the right thing. Nevertheless, both of the ladies who had influenced his background had lied to him in different ways. Poppy made the decision to remove Lee from his daughter's life, and Lee made the decision to remove Poppy. He was in danger of being crushed by the weight of it all. As if things weren't already complicated, Finn's blood ran cold when he discovered another shocking revelation. Poppy was concealing something far more sinister than Luna's paternity. Poppy's history wasn't as carefree and fanciful as she had always made it seem. There had been hardships, desperate moments, and survival mode decisions. She had surrounded herself with strong men, guys who had once supported her but had now ensnared her in a web of lies and secrets. As Poppy described the specifics of a life he had never envisioned for her, Finn gaped at her in terror. She had occasionally been forced to depend on others who expected favors in exchange. She wishes she had never gone down some paths and encountered circumstances from which she was unable to escape. Luna had been her biggest inspiration and the only thing that had kept her going throughout it all. Suddenly, Finn could hear Steffi's remarks. She had told him that adopting Luna would be difficult because of Poppy's dangerous past. He had written it off as paranoia at the time, but now he wasn't so sure. In actuality, he had no idea who Poppy had been for all those years. He had no idea what Luna had experienced as a child. What's the worst? He had no idea how his marriage would be impacted by all of this. Because Steffi was becoming colder every day while he struggled with all these realities. At first, she had attempted to understand and had been patient, but Finn could see that she was withdrawing. She felt deceived and caught off guard, and now that Poppy's troubled past was public knowledge, she had all the tools she needed to permanently remove Luna from their life. This wasn't just about Luna, Finn thought as he sat by himself, going over all he had learned again. This was about his whole life falling apart in front of him. All of his preconceived notions about his past and the people he cared about were based on deceptive information and ulterior motives. He now needed to make a decision about what to do with everything. Would he be crushed under the weight of these revelations? Would he leave Poppy and Luna behind and attempt to save his marriage to Steffi? Or would he at last seize his own fate, make his own decisions, and support the daughter he had never realized he had? Finn still lacked the answers. There was no turning back, though, and he had discovered more than he ever would have wished to know. Hope had believed that she had always trusted Carter. However, trust was brittle and could be broken with the correct amount of manipulation, and Steffi was an expert at setting traps. Hope didn't anticipate it. She had never given any thought to why Steffi had appeared abnormally smug in recent days, because she had been so engrossed in her feelings and the developing intimacy between her and Carter. Hope ought to have been more aware. Steffi always had a rationale for everything she did, and now when she was standing motionless in the doorway, she knew she had entered a nightmare. Carter and Daphne were caught up in an unquestionably passionate moment there in the darkened office. In a betrayal that Hope could never forget, their bodies were crushed together, hands moving freely, and mouths locked. As the truth of the situation set in, she felt as though the air had been drawn out of the room and her heart was hammering against her ribs. There was no miscommunication here. There was no deception here. This was happening directly in front of her, and it was genuine and unfiltered. When Daphne saw Hope standing there, her eyes flitted with satisfaction. She didn't back down or rush to justify herself. Instead, she simply grinned while continuing to trace Carter's chest lines as though to emphasize that this was now hers. Carter, however, had a frightened expression. His face became pale, and he immediately took a step back, as though that would repair the harm. He began, "Hope," but there were no words that could make this better. Hope felt a knot in her stomach. Someone had played her. Steffi was aware from the beginning. She had desired for her to witness this and experience this suffering. Hope suddenly understood that she had lost more than Carter, she had lost the last vestige of her trust and love, as the treachery soaked into her bones. She turned on her heel and left Steffi to her triumph and Carter to his error without saying another word.